Assalamu alaikum. I'm Shahana Wahid, and this is the second lecture for the stool analysis. We have done a microscopic examination up to the detection of the dietary meat, fiber, and fat in the stool. The second part of this lecture is the detection of the parasitical elements or microorganisms in the stool. Normally, there are no parasites and stool and eggs are present in the stool sample. However, for the detection of the parasitical eggs, multiple stool samples should be examined. At least 3 consecutive days, stool samples are examined to rule out the parasitic infection. This is done because parasites lay eggs in different time, and maybe when we collect the sample, the stool is devoid of any type of egg due to the differences in their life cycles. Protozoa basically is a formal term that is represent the single cell eukaryotes, and they are either free living or parasite. However, our main concern are those parasitical or microorganisms which are dependent on the human or animals for their growth. The protozoa has basically 2 types of life cycle, and one is the cyst and second one is the trophozoite. Trophozoites basically is the typical form or the stage of the protozoa that reflects the feeding stage of the protozoa, whereas the cyst stage is the dormant one and the most resistant one and the most infectious stage of the protozoa. So in the stool sample, either the whole microorganism is present which is feeding in the infected person, or there may be certain type of cyst or ova are present which shows the dormant and resistant and infectious stage of the protozoa. This is the difference जो कि हम आगे जाके देखेंगे कि either the whole organism is there or either their cysts are present. This is a journal flow chart for the detection of the stool sample for the protozoan analysis, and either the direct wet mount method is used or either spatial stain or used or any other technique like cellophane technique is used for the diagnosis. If we talk about the direct wet mount, then basically it is conserved for the detection of the egg and larva of helminths especially, and for the cysts and trophozoites of the protozoa. And if it may be possible that direct wet mount contains negative results, and if negative results are there, then concentration procedure we have already discussed earlier in the previous video should be considered, so that this stool sample को हम concentrate करेंगे, उसको concentrate करके फिर उसका जो sediment है उसको फिर analyze किया जाएगा. Then there is a chance कि whole stool में तो हो, लेकिन हमने जो sample take किया है, जो एक small amount के sample थी उसमें नहीं आया, तो पूरे stool को लेके उसको concentrate करके उसमें से फिर हम ये sample को analyze करेंगे. Then we have certain type of spatial stains, क्योंकि ये these are the cysts and these are the protozoans, trophozoites, so they are not easily detectable in a normal wet mount or iodine stain. So for that purpose we have special type of stain, and these stains are trichrome stains and wings right stain for the WBC. ठीक है, इसमें मेंशन है कि हम कौन कौन से AFBF stains भी हैं हमारे पास, which is the acid fast bacillus stain, जो कि basically perform करते हैं for the tuberculosis and other type of microorganisms like cyclospora and isospora. And we have cellophane technique. Cellophane technique is somewhat different, जिसमें direct जो children है उसमें एक tape की वजह से जो है वो direct eggs को collect किया जाता है instead of stool. जब बच्चा सो रहा होता है when he was in sleep, तो initially उसके लिए anal से sample collection होती है with the help of tape, and this tape contains the sticky eggs on the tape, तो वो collect करके फिर उनको evaluate किया जाता है. ठीक है, So this is the journal picture. Now the first microorganism is the Entamoeba histolytica, responsible for the dysentery, and demonstration of the trophozoite is that it is basically required for the diagnosis of the amoebic dysentery. So at least fresh stool sample should be examined to increase its sensitivity. With these trophozoites, if we talk about the whole microorganism, then it is about 15 to 40 micrometer in diameter. And in saline wet mount, the most interesting thing is that in saline wet mount, if you notice and take out the video from the YouTube, you will observe that it has the motility in one direction. It easily feel that ये move हो रहा है slide के अंदर, आपको ये float करता हुआ नजर आएगा. So trophozoite shows motility in one direction as it has pseudopodia, which form rapidly. It has translucent cytoplasm, it has ectoplasm and freshly granule endoplasm. बहुत अच्छा इसका बड़ा साइड है, इसके पास pseudopodium है, can change its shape. Nucleus is visible in iodine. अगर wet mount अगर iodine stain किया गया है तो इसका nucleus visible होगा. And the most interesting thing that it contains the presence of certain red cells. इसमें आप देख सकते हैं कि ये wet mount है तो इसमें red cells इसके अंदर present है, RBC इसके अंदर है जो कि hemolyze हो चुके हैं. So trophozoite of Entamoeba histolytica showing the ingested RBCs, especially in the trichrome strain. Now these are the Entamoeba histolytica cysts, and cysts are spherical and measures about 10 to 15 micro diameter. And depending upon the nucleus, they have either uninucleate, binucleate, trinucleate, and quadrinucleate. And nuclear membrane is regular and thin with fine granular appearance of chromatin. The cysts are either immature cysts or maybe mature cysts. Both represent the infective stage. There are certain differences between amoebic and basically dysentery. So the reasons, the differences are mentioned there. That is, cause are different. Onsets, amoebic dysentery is onset is gradual, while bacilli is acute one. No fever and vomiting in case of amoebic dysentery. It is localized, and its frequency is of the stool is 6 to 8 per day, representing the mild diarrhetic condition. Order of the stool is changed, color is dark red because of the presence of blood in the stool. Feces mixed with blood and mucus, and consistency is watery somewhat, and the nature is acidic. While bacilli dysentery is basically the most positive region is the Shigella, acute one, and more water loss is there, more diarrhea, bright red color because there is no concentration of the stool in the GIT tract, and blood and mucus with little or no feces. ठीक है. Adherent to container, जो जिस कंटेनर में हम कलेक्ट करेंगे उससे स्टिक हो जाएगा, स्टिकी होगा शिगेला वाला. ठीक है. नेचर इज अल्कलाइन, पीएच, और ये बेसिकली डिफरेंट ये शो कर रहा है कि अगर हमारे पास इन्फेक्शन जो है वो अमीबिया की वजह से हुआ या बैसिलरी की वजह से, तो आराम से स्टूल सैंपल से हम इसको डिफरेंशिएट कर सकते हैं अगर अभी हम कल्चर एनालिसिस में नहीं गए. अनदर एग्जामिनेशन इज दैट माइक्रोस्कोपिक अगर हम एग्जामिन करें फर्दर तो सेलुलर एक्सुडेट्स यानी एपिथेलियल सेल्स वगैरह इसमें स्कैन की होते हैं, लेकिन बैसिलरी में एपिथेलियल लॉस ज़्यादा होता है तो उसमें सेल्स ज़्यादा होंगे. आरबीसी दोनों में हो सकते हैं, क्लम्पिंग भी होती है, डिस्क्रीट भी हो सकती है. पस जो है वो अमीबिया में बिल्कुल कम होंगे. पस सेल्स बेसिकली रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं कि ल्यूकोसाइट्स इंटरेक्शन हो रहा है जो कि बैसिलरी डाइसेंट्री में मोर होगा. मैक्रोफेजेस भी बैसिलरी में ज़्यादा होंगे. ईस्नोफिल्स जो है वो अमीबिक डाइसेंट्री में प्रेजेंट होंगे एंड जो बैसिलरी में नहीं होंगे. इसी तरह बैक्टीरिया जो है वो दूसरे टाइप ऑफ बैक्टीरिया हम उसमें प्रेजेंट हो सकते हैं जो कि मोटाइल भी हों. ट्रोपोजाइट्स बेसिकली होंगे, मोटाइल होंगे, उसी की बेसिस पे इनको आइडेंटिफाई किया जाएगा. और एंटीजन जो है वो बेसिकली एक है जो कि सरफेस पे होती है एंटामोeba हिस्टोलाइटिका के. देन ये जो बॉडी एंटीजन एंटीबॉडी रिएक्शन है, ये इंजाइम इम्यूनो एसिड लगे थे स्पेसिफिकली डिटेक्ट होगा कि ये जो कॉज है डायसेंट्री का इट इज ऑफ अमीबिक और बेसिलियन, इस बेसिस पे डिफरेंशिएट कर सकते हैं। Then we have other species, इसमें Pochyria protozoa है। The most important thing is to remember the name of the protozoites and the name as well as the name important है और shape important है कि आपको उसकी shape याद रहे ताकि जब माइक्रोस्कोप में आप उसको विजुलाइज करें तो आप उसको डिफरेंशिएट कर सकें। Pochyria as the name indicates that they are those intercellular parasites having the circular shape or spherical shapes, and they are basically spread from one animal to another by means of infected feces or ingestion of the infected tissues. The problem came under to the human basically by the puppy or kitten that is infected, and these puppy or kitten, which may be a pet animal to the human, may responsible for the transmission of these parasites. There are various species of Coccidia, that is either Isophora belli. This is the picture of the Isophora belli showing the oocytes showing 2 sporoplasts or 2 mature sporoplasts. और सेकेंड टाइप इज दी दूसरा है वो भी कॉकरिया का ही टाइप है, विच इज दी क्रिप्टोस्पोडियम कैरियम, ऑल्सो स्पेरिकल इन शेप, बट इसके अंदर स्पोर्स जो है वो बाय न्यूक्लिएटेड नहीं है, सिंगल न्यूक्लिएटेड है, राउंड टू ओवल है एंड एक्सचेंज पिंक टू रेड। थर्ड टाइप इसकी है हमारे पास Pochyria साइक्लोस्पोरा काइनिटिनेसिस, सेम है शेप एंड size is about 8 to 10 micrometer and the color is slightly changed. However, कोई सी भी जीनस हो, the type is Coccidia। जब भी राउंड शेप में कोई आ रहा है और उस तरह कोई कलर आ रहा है हमारे पास ट्राइकोन चेन में, then it is the Coccidia। This is the Microspordia। Microspordia are basically obligate intracellular parasite, opportunistic infection करेंगे basically in immunocompromised patient and lead to the persistent diarrhea and weight loss. There are again several species are there, however they are not so much important, and spores are very small. The size of spore is very small, it's about 1 to 5 micrometer and they are stained as red in trichome stain। देख सकते हैं जो ये बड़ा नजर आ रहा है बट ये इतना बड़ा होता नहीं है, ठीक है। देन वी हैव Ascaris lumbricoid which is the round worm, and occasionally these adult worms are large enough they can easily pass into the feces, and when the sample brought to the laboratory, the lab technician easily visualize it. So it is a long and basically it is present in children. Adult Ascaris worm is about 15 centimeter length। मेल की लेंथ जो है वो बेसिकली कम होती है एज कम्पेयर टू फीमेल, 15 centimeter for male and 30 centimeter for female, and tail is either curved or there are 3 lips. So diagnosis is basically made by the demonstration of the eggs present in the stool। तो यूजली प्रेजेंट नहीं, जरूरी नहीं कि पूरा एनिमल आपको मिक्स में मिल जाए, लेकिन इसके एग्स जो है वो फ्रीक्वेंटली स्टूल में प्रेजेंट होते हैं। तो कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ स्टूल इज सजेस्टेड और वो फॉर्मोइथाइल एसिडिक सेडिमेंटेशन टेक्निक यूज करेंगे तो उससे कंसंट्रेट हो जाएगा। द एग्स आर मेनली आइदर द फर्टिलाइज्ड टाइप और अनफर्टिलाइज्ड टाइप, दोनों तरह के सेल्स एग्स हमें मिलेंगे। तो इसमें जो होता क्या है कि बेसिकली दीज सेल्स आर जो इसके एग्स होते हैं बेसिकली जस्ट लाइक अदर एग्स, बाहर से उनका जो आउटर मटेरियल है वो हार्डर होता है, इनर का जो है वो हार्डर नहीं होता। तो सिंगल फीमेल worms discharge eggs which are slightly larger and elliptical 80 micrometer into 55 micrometer is the size. The thinner shell, egg has a thinner shell with an irregular coating of the albumin. So the egg is filled with a large mass of the disorganized granules of various sizes. Eggs usually don't float in the salt solution. Then we have the fertilized egg, which are somewhat spherical in shape, oval as compared to unfertilized egg, and the size is more bigger. We can't say that it is bigger as the shape is completely changed. It becomes spherical, and it has translucent coat instead of albumin coat, and it easily be distinguished. Then we have decorticated eggs in which the outer coat is removed. Whatever type of the egg is present, it is the diagnostic criteria for the detection of the Ascaris lambda-coides. Then another worm is hookworm, and Ancylostoma duodenale is the older name, and new species is Nectar americanus, which is present basically in America. Whatever the type, it basically lead to the presence of certain type of eggs which are oval in shape with a thin shell and had a clear space between the wall and developing cleavage. So whole complete good egg is there. This helminth is basically responsible for the occult blood in the stool. Another worm is the white worm, which is the Trichodus trichuria, and it has the egg. It has a yellow-brown egg which measures about 50 to 25 micron inside, rounded one, and transparent plug is present at both sides. Egg contains uniformly material. Another important helminth is the Ash nana, that is Hymenoplepsis nana, and again eggs are oval and measure 30 to 50 micron in size. So basically, due to the presence of various oval or spherical type of shape in the stool, they lead to the diagnosis of a specific type of helminths. Another helminth is the threadworm, which is the Strongyloid stercolysis, and it is present basically in fresh stool sample, and eggs are rarely seen in stool sample because they hatch and release the larva instead of eggs. So it is difficult to diagnose as excretion of larvae is often irregular and their number may be few. Stool examination may provide the negative results, so concentration technique is also useful in this case. Then we have the eggs of the pinworm, that is Enterobius vulnicularis, and it is also very difficult to diagnose. So pinworm eggs are mainly collected by the transparent adhesive tape by cellophane tape method as discussed earlier. A transparent adhesive tape is folded over the end of the glass slide, and a spoon handle or a wooden tongue depressor, and patient buttocks are separated, and the side spoon will touch the anal portion, and then the egg got stick on the adhesive tape. Mainly children are more affected with pinworm. Then we have another helminth, which is the Taenia solium, and it has it will also identify with the help of its egg about 30 to 40 micron in diameter, round to oval, a thick barrier, a gravid segment is there, a headish portion is there. So eggs are discharged intermittently by tapeworm and therefore may not be detected easily. So repeated stool examination is required. One thing was missed, that is Giardia lambia. It is a protozoa. डायरेक्ट वो जो है helminth start हो गए थे. This slide was missed. Then Giardia lambia is basically also identified with the help of their cysts, and their cysts are about 8 to 12 micrometer in diameter, and they are present in cluster form in fresh liquid. The protozoa is of basically pear shape, and it has it is flagellated and have oval nuclei just like eye. And in the slide it has some motility and it is likened to that of falling leaf. ऐसा लग रहा है कि पत्ते गिर रहे हैं, वो मूव होता हुआ हमें बाकायदा स्लाइड में नजर आता है, फ्लाइंग वेट माउथ में स्पेशली। जैसे इस व्यू, ये जो लीफ की तरह यही चलता हुआ फील होगा। It is also very important that we have to differentiate certain artifacts which are made present during the stool microscopic examination, because they are basically confuse the laboratory technician with the presence of the ova and cyst of various protozoa and helminths. So normally yeast and fungal elements made detected in the stool and they are normal, so they should not be mixed with the spores or cysts of the protozoa and helminths. Furthermore, pollen grain in stool may be mistaken for helminth cells, as we have discussed that mostly helminth cells are of oval or circular shape. तो ये circular shape basically intervene करती है कि they may be a pollen grain. So a lab technician should be sure that these are not pollen grains. Plant fiber and plant cells. If the person has high intake of dietary fiber, then plant cells may look like that. That is, plant cell may look like a spore or cyst. So it should not be confused with ova and cyst. Air bubbles just like a spore, for example टीनिया कि अगर हम स्पोर्स देखें तो वो बिल्कुल इसी तरह के होते हैं। टीनिया सोलियम के जो एग्स होते हैं वो इसी तरह के होते हैं, तो दे कैन बी कंफ्यूज विद दैट। देन वी हैव केमिकल एग्जामिनेशन। जस्ट इसमें हम देख लेते हैं कि कौन कौन से होते हैं, लेकिन ये हमारी लैब का पार्ट नहीं है। केमिकल एग्जामिनेशन में बेसिकली वी विल एग्जामिन द फीकल ऑकल ब्लड। ऑकल ब्लड क्या होता है कि जो कि नॉर्मली विद द नेकेड आई विच इज नॉट विजिबल। Fecal pH will be measured in chemical examination, and test for reducing carbohydrate basically interpret the problem in the carbohydrate metabolism. Fecal occult blood is basically the reflection of the inflammatory bowel disease or any cancerous stage. Certain stains are there for the fecal fat, and fecal fat which represents the fat malabsorption. Fecal urobilinogen basically reflects the liver disease, and fecal osmotic gap will be measured in chemical examination, which basically lead to the distinguish between the secretory and osmotic diarrhea, because there is a chance that if the person is suffering from the diarrhea, then the reason is not the infection, rather than it may be a osmotic diarrhea. Chemical examination is basically done 6 type of chemical examination, that is for the occult blood, for the excessive fat excretion, for the determination of the urobilinogen in the stool, reducing sugar, stool osmotic gap, and the stool pH. This is all about the stool analysis. Thank you for watching, and the class will be there to discuss the stool analysis, inshallah.